Hey everyone, Alex here. So this is going to be a walkthrough of the Picklmart data entry tool to help you get up and running. Um, in this video, we're going to cover the basics. We're going to do an example and hopefully answer some of the common questions you might have. So the tool, which is available at det.picklmart.com, this is your landing page. And here you're going to get a summary of everything I'm going to talk about. So if you have a question, there's a good chance it's answered here. But for now, we're going to go ahead and hit get started. So the first thing you need to start doing data entry is some video to do it on. And so to help out, I've overlaid the mouse on my face down here. Hopefully that'll help with some of the left and right clicking that we're going to talk about in a bit. But we're going to start by entering some game information. So here's some gameplay that my buddy Tyler recorded. We were playing, this is like a month ago or so. So we're going to copy the URL from here. It has to be on YouTube. Fortunately, we do not support Facebook or any other video players for now. And once you paste it in there, you'll see it gets loaded down here. If you did rally scoring, we support that, but this is just standard scoring. Tournament name. So if you're playing in a tournament, this is straightforward. If it's rec play, you can just put rec play. We can call it whatever. In this case, it was the Mason-Dixon Paddle Battle. Cool. It's played in 2023. This is game number 1. This can be a good estimate. I think this is kind of like mid-November, like around here. All right. So next, it's asking about player information, and we need to know who the starting server was. So I'm going to go ahead and get into my video. Looks like Tyler is the starting server. So I'm going to go ahead and enter players' names. If a player's already been entered for another game, they'll appear. So Tyler's right here. He is a lefty. He's playing with myself. I'm a righty. Looks like our friend Nathan is a starting returner. And he's playing with Josh. All right. Skill level, this is open brackets, so we'll say 5.0. This DET username is whatever you want it to be. It's not tied to anything right now. And then we were playing with Adura. All right. So once you've entered all that information, go ahead and hit begin game. And you'll see this section gets collapsed and it'll be focused on what we call like the kind of the match play section. Cool. So there's this court over here, and the idea is that while the video is playing, you're going to be entering information on the court. So what information are you entering? For a little refresher, you can go back up here, and we're going to be using a combination of left clicks and right clicks. So in general, you'll be using left click more often than not. However, you will want to indicate a right click if the serving team was stacking. Don't left click, right click for that shot. If the returning team was stacking, instead of left clicking, you'll be right clicking for that shot. And then finally, a good rule of thumb is for the remainder of shots, if it's a soft shot, including a third shot drop or a dink, you're going to be right clicking. Otherwise, you'll be left clicking. If you also want to indicate lobs, you can hold down the shift button while you left click. This is pretty rare though. When you're clicking, you are clicking at the point of contact. This is what trips a lot of people up, so pay attention to that. I'll go ahead and do an example rally, and then I'll walk through what happened. Okay, so here we go. Click. Dropping it to the right. Okay. So you can see how I use a mix of left clicking and right clicking there. You can also notice that the names are actually on the wrong side. If that's the case, use the swap team sides button. So I'd say that ended with me committing, you can argue it was unforced. I'll go ahead and say it was just an error. If at any point you want to adjust information about each shot, you can do so in the shot log down here. Now you'll see that in this case, some of the players were not populated. That is okay. When we go ahead and process the data, we'll make educated guesses on who hit each shot based on the skill level, where the shot was hit, handedness, etc. However, if you notice that one player is constantly poaching, or just taking a lot of court, or players just happen to switch sides in the middle of the rally, not because of sacking, it can be helpful to manually specify who hit each shot. Similarly, shot types will also be classified using that same kind of information. Serves, returns, and the third shot are specified by the user, but these other shots go through kind of a similar algorithm. But if I wanted to, I could say like, yeah, that second to last one was a speed up. Then I could go back to this last shot. Be like, yeah, that was like kind of a counter. We'll call it like a hand battle here. And just to be clear, Alex Spankik hit that shot. Okay, when you're happy with the rally, you have 4 options. You can say an individual made an unforced error, an error, or a winner. Or if you're like, it wasn't really any of those, you can just say this team won the rally. But in this case, I think it was pretty clear that I made an error, so I'll hit that. You'll see the score up here is updated. Team B is now serving. And if you want to go back and make changes, you can always go to the rally log down here and do so. The rally log also contains information about the rally itself, how long it was, if either team stacked, which you can update retroactively, along with kind of like how it ended. Note that changing the ending player and ending type will not change the score. That is an improvement that we are going to make in the future. You may wonder, how did it know that the right side player actually hit the third? Well, what you'll notice is that is that what happened? Okay, I think I messed that up. That's actually something we can go ahead and correct. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Great. So we've recorded our first rally. Let's talk about some of the other keys you can use. At any point in the rally, to indicate who hit the third shot, you can use the 1 or 2 hotkeys. I'll pull the instructions up here. Actually, it's not listed here. It's in the more detailed instructions. But from the perspective of you, the data entry user, if one of the people on your left is hitting the third shot, you're going to use the 1 hotkey. It doesn't have to be at the time of the shot. It can be at any point in the rally. If the right side player, from your perspective, is hitting the shot, you can use the 2 hotkey. If you don't want to use the hotkeys and you just want to like go and update the third shot player here, note that this third shot side is the more typical third shot side. So I am the left side player. However, if Josh was sitting the third shot over here, this would actually be set to L. It's a little bit confusing, so I wanted to clarify that. All right, go ahead and go to the next rally here. Also note that on the YouTube player, you can change the playback speed. So by default, it's set to 0.5. And we're going to keep it there for now. But if you want to change it, you might help it start slower. I can do it at about 0.8. Pause the video and just note that I hit the 1 hotkey because the player on my left, visually, hit the third. It looks like he's hitting a drop. So I'm just going to go ahead and right click where he hit it, which is about there. Now with game right. Get me. Alright. Here's the last thing you need to know. You have the option to indicate where the last shot landed. This is not mandatory, but I find it helpful for understanding if I'm missing long, into the net, etc. So you can enter one last click to indicate where the last shot landed. In this case, it was in the net, so I'm going to click here. It'll appear as a shot, but don't worry, when we process the data, we'll know that's just the landing location. And I don't know if this is like a tough one. Winners, errors, unforced errors are all up to you as the user. We want it to be helpful to you. So if you find that labeling this as an error will be helpful, go ahead and do that. Personally, that was a pretty tricky ball. You could call it an error. I'm just going to say that we won the rally. Yeah, actually, I'll give him an error. Nathan makes that shot like 90+% of the time. All right. So it looks like I actually did not pick up the third shot player side. I think I messed the hotkey up there. But we can go ahead and manually specify that he was playing the right side, the more typical sense. We can look here. You can see that this shot type actually got listed as ball location, which is correct. Awesome. All right, what else? If you need to rewind, these rewind buttons are pretty helpful. Yep, like this tooltip says, you can use the left and right arrow keys in the YouTube player when you're focused on the YouTube player to go back and forth 5 seconds. When you have finished the game, go ahead and hit complete game. What this will do, I'll actually just show you the message, is it's going to send the data to our database. First it's going to ask you, do you want to finish the game? I'll go ahead and say, okay. It'll say, great. Now, if you want us to actually produce a match report, which I assume you do, because you're doing the data entry, you're just going to have to go ahead and send us an email, and we're going to run a function. It'll produce the report output, and we'll send it over. But this just sends the data to our database. Additionally, it spits out some raw data if you're interested in trying to use that, but you don't need to provide that. It's kind of some outdated functionality. Hopefully that answers most of your questions. I'm going to do one more rally, just in case. Helpful. So we got serving here. Someone back here. Good estimate. And one right here. I would miss that one into the net. See that right click. I'm going to call it an error. And notice that the third shot player side was updated correctly because I used the hotkey correctly that time. Yep. Nathan, the right side player, didn't. You can submit games multiple times. Just when we look at the data, we'll see it, and we'll choose to process the last game that you submitted. If you want to submit multiple games for the same match, once you are complete, you're going to need to enter the same information, but change the game number to 2. You'll likely need to swap who was the starting server, etc. Just make sure to keep the tournament name, the year, and the players the same. That's how we know that that game is part of the same match. If you have any bugs, feel free to reach out to us. Appreciate you watching this, and talk to you soon.